Welcome to Midcard Maniacs. I'm Jay.
And I'm John.
And today we're doing our AEW Road Rager predictions.
Yeah.
So coming out of the pandemic era at Daly's Place, it's heartbreaking. That little package last time on AEW Dynamite, oh my god. Well, now we're going to Miami, and we've got a full month in July of like pay-per-view style events. And this one, it has to be a banger because it's the first one. They're gonna make a big impression, so it's time to get into it. And we'll start with the worst match on the card. Cody Rhodes versus QT Marshall in a strap match. I'm glad it has a stipulation because I don't care about this match whatsoever.
I know, it's really tough to get behind them right now, especially QT. I've never been a fan of QT. Strangely enough, he's growing on me as a heel, but I'm still not interested.
Everything that I see from him is just boring. It's his hair, I think. It's his hair and bowling shirt. I don't know.
His bowling shirt. I like the people he's surrounded himself with.
Yeah, Camrado is probably one of the best, I think, that he's with. And I do like a go-go. Aaron Solo's whatever, but like QT himself, I just don't find enjoyable. And Cody, I think the interest is just dwindling on me. He loses all the time to put other people over, and I just don't care.
He doesn't want to be a Triple H. I'm going to take the title, I'm going to be the best, blah, 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 blah. But he's also become boring in that sense. I feel like we've seen this all before a few years ago with MJF. Be close to the Rhodes family, turn on them, and let's have our feud.
Generally, a match like this is easy to predict, but because it's the first match on the road, Cody is so over. If he loses, what's the point?
This is what I think is going to happen. QT is going to win, but it's only because Go and Camarado, they're going to destroy him. Is the Gun Club and Dustin going to come out and like help him? Like we saw Cody versus Go already. We've seen Dustin versus Camarado. Now it's just QT.
And then it has to be Nightmare Family versus Nightmare Factory at All Out in September. We get where this is going.
Yeah.
So it's just whatever. It doesn't really matter what happens here. And Cody loves putting himself through pain. He likes getting whipped, apparently. And being that it's a strap match, you know damn well his back is getting cut up. I mean, when the last time where he had to get his back whipped a bunch of times, it was a very emotional moment. Brandy ran out. And I think something similar is going to happen. Maybe not with Brandy because I don't know that she's able to at the moment.
Yeah, and that's also, if there's any moment you're going to write Cody off so he could be with Liberty and Brandy, that like this is the time. I think Cody's gonna go back to being off TV for a bit just because being a new father is so new to him.
QT wins. Next we'll go with a really interesting match and probably one of my favorites on the card, which is Orange Cassidy and Kris Statlander versus the Blade and the Bunny.
This one eats me up. Orange Cassidy and Statlander are gonna win. And I hate to say that because I do like Blade and Bunny.
Like this is gonna be an awesome match, but it is extremely predictable. And if for some reason the Bunny and Blade win, it'll be great. I don't think it's happening unless they want to do a Miami pop for the Butcher's return.
And that's what I was thinking too, is the Butcher is healthy now, and I think he's cleared. So that would lead to a potential Chuck, Orange Cassidy, and Statlander versus Butcher, Blade, and Bunny. Because Trent's out for a bit, so you can have like Butcher come in, do some underhanded stuff, and they get the win, which leads to like a 3-on-3 match at one of these 4 great shows. Or one would only hope when they return to Buffalo, when they get to New York.
Yeah.
They got to keep them in the mix up to that show.
So at the end of the day, I think that Orange Cassidy and Kris Statlander will probably win, but we will have the Butcher come out for an after-match beatdown.
That would be more likely. I feel being your first show out on the road, you want all your faces to win anyways, because you want the crowd to be happy.
And people want Orange Cassidy to win.
Everybody wants to give the
half thumbs up.
And do.
Yeah. Oh my. I can't believe I let you do that. I understand how it happens in the ring. I was so confused at what you're doing. And I'm like, Okay, it just happens. I get it now. So OC and Kris Statlander with potentially the Butcher returning to set up a 3-on-3 match in the future. Speaking of 3-on-3 matches, we're going with a 6-man tag. We've got the Pinnacle versus the Inner Circle. Jake Hager, Santana and Ortiz versus Wardlow, Cash Wheeler, and Dax Harwood, FTR.
I think Inner Circle's gonna take it. It just feels like the Inner Circle just keeps winning and knocking the Pinnacle down, but the Pinnacle keeps coming back with underhanded attacks.
Hey, like Sean Spears gonna show up and do some shady shit again.
Hager won in his match against Wardlow. We still have to wait for Santana and Ortiz versus FTR in their like standoff tag match that's gonna happen at some point. It's gonna be one of those things where the Inner Circle get a bunch of wins, and then that's when the Pinnacle is like, you know what? We're just gonna keep attacking you, and then they'll finally have the blow off match.
I like both factions like basically equally. I think maybe the Inner Circle more.
This is a major factor to this match. Konnan.
Oh yeah, Konnan and Tully Blanchard are gonna do some dumb shit. Inner Circle can easily come through and okay, Inner Circle wins easy. And maybe whoever's running the audio at the event lets DJ Konnan and spin some tunes. Maybe it'll pump up the P&P boys. Inner Circle.
Inner Circle.
Next, we've got a straight up singles match between Andrade versus Matt Sydal. This is Andrade's first in-ring match with AEW, which is going to be awesome. And Matt Sydal is somebody that I'm very excited to see him go against.
They're going to do some very good sequences together. Like, that's going to be the thing. It's going to be a lot of, like, holds, flips, reverse, holds, flips, reverse, flying in the air. What more could you ask for?
Yeah, similar to what we saw with MJF and Sammy, which is actually a really shocking big start to that last match. Oh my God, that match rocked. Andrade, I am curious. He said that he had an announcement last time, and then that's when Matt Sydal came through and he's interrupting him. And then he had another announcement and he's like, well, now my announcement is that I want to fight Matt Sydal. Well, what the fuck was your first announcement, Andrade? Did you have another announcement? Because it's obviously not Selena Vega coming out. Aleister Black comes in versus the Sydal brothers. We get the yoga guy in too.
Oh my God. Yeah, his announcement is going to be like, I'm an idol, and as an idol, I'm going to take down a god. And he's going to go after
the Redeemer?
Yep.
God's favorite champion, Miedo. That's what I want to see. So Matt Sydal is kind of like almost like a showpiece. So Andrade is going to win it. There's no doubt in my mind. It's going to be a great match, obviously, but like Andrade has to win his first match, especially if he's going to be the guy who's going to be the face of Latin America. Like, that's what he wants to be. We'll see how that all plays out. I'm pumped to see him eventually go against Kenny Omega.
I'm just pumped to actually see him wrestle again.
And finally, we have probably our main event, unless they announce something else, which is the Young Bucks versus Eddie Kingston and Penta El Zero M for the tag team titles. In a new stipulation they've just added, it's a street fight. Eddie Kingston was born and raised on the streets. You don't think that he can street fight? He's gonna kick the shit out of these two idiots.
These awesome mustache wearing idiots.
I do love their new mustaches.
Nakazawa's looks the best. They're all little sex Fergusons.
I do like the mustaches. I think it makes them just that much more arrogant and cocky and stupid. That makes people just like, oh, I hate you, but like, you look so fucking sleazy. Well, I like the Young Bucks as wrestlers. I don't think I want them to have the titles, but they're on such a high right now that I don't think they're gonna lose the titles.
The thing that is working really well right now is the fact that the Elite have everything. You have Kazarian now, who's entered himself as the Elite Hunter. That is going to have to play off in some way in a big grand match. If the Young Bucks lose the titles, then their focus is going to be getting those titles back. But having them on them, they just welcome the challengers and show how cocky and conceited they are. Because you're just really going to want to get behind Kazarian, and it's probably going to be Kazarian, Kingston, and I don't know who else is going to work with them.
Okay, so let me throw a wrench into this plan. Similar concept though. Kazarian comes in, screws with the Young Bucks to some degree that cost them the titles.
I can't see Penta and Kingston beating the Bucks cleanly.
It's a street fight.
Like, I can't see them going down for the cover without like Kazarian coming in and doing something and interfering. And to give Kingston his first title in AEW, like his first like that feel good moment, this just doesn't feel like it.
You're right. This isn't the time for Kingston to win a title, nor Penta.
When you look at the past champions who have held the title, so we've got the Young Bucks, we've got SCU, and we've got Page and Omega. All of them are believable tag team champions. The story with Penta not trusting Kingston just yet, and then them finally working together, it just feels weird because Penta...
And too early.
Yeah, too early. Penta and Kingston need to like grow together. Just last week was the first time they worked together as a unit.
It's all about the pop.
Or it's all about the booze. The heat is just as good as the pop. The Young Bucks stealing this one is going to generate so much more heat, and that closing shot of them just all like driving away in like a golf cart or something like that, like blowing kisses bye to the camera and Kingston just like being pissed.
And it just generates more promos from Kingston, which is what we all want. And it'll also invite Omega out. Just, it brings him out at the end to just kind of say hi to the audience. Everybody wins. Young Bucks take it.
5 minutes later.
Where's the women's match?
Well, technically we got Statlander and Bunny.
Like, that's how they're gonna start working in their women's matches? I'm gonna be pissed if that's what happens.
Yeah, like we need Britt Baker on the show. All of them. Where's Ty Conti? Where's Shido?
Yeah, is there no women's matches? I'm like searching around. I don't see any yet. Chances are there's going to be a couple promos. I would imagine one from Jade Cargill and probably one from Britt Baker.
I mean, I could see them doing something with Nyla just to like establish her as the next contender.
I don't know if we'll get it. We'll see. What do you guys think of our predictions? Let us know in the comments. Like this video. And are you excited for AEW's July? Because we've got Road Rager, we've got Fyter Fest 1 and 2, and at the end of the month, we have Fight for the Fallen. Like, that's nuts. That's absolutely nuts. That closes out July, and then we've just got one more month till All Out. We're back on the road, baby. Let us know your thoughts on AEW and everything coming up in the comments. Like this video, and if it's your first time here, make sure you subscribe to the channel, stay up to date with everything here on Midcard Maniacs.
Yeah.